What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Getting this link posted across the board here, guys, and then we'll be good to go. Gonna fire up TikTok, and then we'll be ready. What's up, Dub? Guys, I'm excited for a new week. A lot of new opportunities. Gonna get this link posted on TikTok, and then we're gonna get going here with the markets again, everybody. My TikTok is still acting up, so I gotta manually get it going here, which is fine, but we're good there. What's going on, Daniel? What's on Plan for Success? What's going on, everybody? All right, guys, so once this TikTok gets going, which we should be good right about now, I'm trying to get this centered in there. Boom, looking pretty good there. Guys, I'm going to allow you guys to drop some tickers in the chat now. We'll cover them. I have plenty that I want to cover myself. I have tons, but I want to be answering some questions here first, guys. What's up, Danny? So again, guys, anybody have any tickers, any questions, feel free to drop it down below in the chat now. I got a couple different chats going, so I'll make sure that I get to all the tickers when possible, guys. Let's drop any tickers down below in the chat. I see Duolingo. If the music's too loud, guys, let me know. If you want me to raise it, let me know. I can't really tell. I'll try to get to all the tickers, like I said, guys, so I'm just going to start firing away here. So this is Duolingo. Oops. Duolingo. This is a strong one, but this one's pretty obvious for me what we need, right? Above last month high. This name went on a crazy, crazy tear. If you look at this daily chart, right? Really big move. It really went from around 330, pretty much straight up to 540s or so. Let it consolidate a bit. The weekly 8 EMA still needs to catch up. So for me, I would not take this, especially because we kind of have this awkward failure to go higher here now on the weekly and on the daily. So I probably wouldn't touch this unless last week high gets taken out. Excuse me, last month high. Last month high. Why is this not working? Oh. The alerts are not working for some reason. That's odd, but you want to buy into the Discord. If you want to get into the Discord, the promo code is on the screen. Click the link in the bio, get going there. All right, guys, I'm getting a lot of ticker requests, so I'm just going to try to rattle them off as much as possible here, guys. Yes, we do give daily signals, absolutely. I don't know if you've seen, guys, but let me just show you real quick. I'm not going to show you, but last month, guys, it was not necessarily replicable, right? It was the best month I ever had, and just understand losses are part of the game. But last month I had 33 signals and 33 winning trades, and I'm not talking about 5%, 10%, 12% winners. I'm talking about significant winning trades, most of them net 25% winners at bare minimum. So but anyway, guys, if you want to join the Discord, link in the bio. The 1, 2, 3 trading strategy, that's something I teach in my mastermind. It's very simple. An impulsive candle, a pause-in candle, and then another impulsive candle. So someone said pays sign. Let's see. Monthly, weekly. I don't really know what this ticker does, but it's pretty clear. Above like $6. Above $6 long, that thing. Until then, I probably wouldn't touch it. I'm going to keep rattling off the signals, though. MSTR. Akbar, thank you for the gifts on TikTok, guys. Guys, if you're on TikTok, double tap the screen, like the stream. Really appreciate that, guys. So MSTR is an interesting one here. My guess is that it posts an inside monthly bar, maybe sweeps these lows down here. But if you just look at the structure here without any type of levels, we need the daily to flip back into an uptrend, which will probably happen around 390. So I would say no longs until 390. If you want to short it, I probably wouldn't. It does have room down to like 325 if you want. I wouldn't short it till probably under 355s. So that's MSTR. What if you have MB? And guys, also for those that are new here to the streams or just new in general, what I personally do every single day, every single week, if I see a chart that in my opinion is an A+ chart, I post it with the analysis in the Discord. So not only do you get access to my signals, you get access to my analysis and daily plan every single day. MB Master Beef, no idea what this is. Seems to be a pretty new IPO with a crazy big bar last week. I would say we don't really have enough data, but you know, definitely can monitor this one moving forward for sure. Just going through the list, guys. Someone said, a couple people said Hood, and a couple people said Lemonade, so I'll go over both of them. Hood here, this is a tricky one because we're pretty much near the all-time highs, right? The only thing standing is this previous wick here. The only thing I'll say about this is that it looks like we're set to open lower. So I would say continue to buy until we get a daily close under the 8 EMA. At that point, maybe a red flag, retest the daily 20. We are a bit extended. You know, we did run from $31 up to 74, pretty much in a straight line in 2 months. So I would say maybe hold off on some longs there, guys. A lot of people ask about Hood though, so that's kind of my opinion. Lemonade, this is one that I think is very, very A+, guys, in my opinion. We have plenty of room to the upside above this $40 area. Yes, delete. So what my plan would be here for Lemonade would be a gap above 40.2s. Above 40.2s is pretty much wide open here to 45, 47, and then 52. This name above 40 should see another explosive move. So this is gonna be our first. Add to the charting section. So I'm gonna say Lemonade. I'm gonna say daily, weekly, monthly in line over 40.2. A lot of open air. Targets 45, 47, and 52. Gap over level plus retest for entry. Really good looking chart there in Lemonade, guys. Cover Lemonade, cover Hood, cover Lemonade. Just going through the charts, guys. Again, a lot of different chats going, making sure I get over all the different tickers here, guys. So this is kind of a tricky one here, right? The weekly chart has this really nasty kind of topping tail here. This topping tail could be a high for a bit. The monthly as well, because the monthly just started. So I would say the daily 20 EMA here is probably buyable. But until that happens, I'm not overly interested in longs because of that really ugly weekly, monthly topping tail there. Okay. So I'm gonna move on. Ulta weekly 1, 2, 3. That looks good. Yep. The monthly's trying to flip here as well. Still in a monthly inside bar. I would say overall this name looks better above 100. Could need some more structure, but definitely one to keep on watch for sure. Held RDW. Nice. Yeah, RDW still looks valid. This is another chart that's going to be on the list here, guys. I just decided to close it over the weekend, but it's going to be definitely back on the list because we pretty much are wide open $24. RDW plan still applies for this week. Any dip to hourly EMAs or over Friday high for long. Targets 20 and then 23. Very simple, very good looking chart. A lot of these space stocks look the same. Do I come on live TikTok every single day? Good question. No, I do not. But I'm live pretty much every single day in the Discord. This, guys, is another good looking chart. You know, I've been watching ASTS for a while here, and it wasn't necessarily the strongest. Now it's becoming very strong. This entire sector as a whole is very strong now, guys. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this continue. I think, truthfully, it's going to kind of be just take your pick, whichever one you think looks best. It has, you know, all these kind of names have a lot of room to the upside. 35. Yeah, so this one's really 34, 36, and then really all-time highs, guys. And then above that, we really get going here. So I'd say like 34, 35 is definitely an area that would definitely have some conflict. So the daily 1, 2, 3 is pretty clear there. Targeting 34, 36, and then 38, or like the all-time high, really. Oops. ASTS, daily 1, 2, 3 setting up. Over last week high can long. Targets 35, 37, an all-time high, guys. Also, guys, for those not in the Discord, again, you click the link in the bio. It'll send you to the Discord. Using code ZACH gets you that discount. But I post all my analysis there. Naturally, I'm not going to be able to get to every single question here during the stream. I'm going to do my best to get to every single ticker, though. All right, I'm going to make sure I just wrap up Instagram. So I did RDW, CAT, CMI. Let's see. So CAT kind of has another one of those nasty daily reversals. The monthly looks valid, weekly looks valid. So I would say for this one, just have to clear this daily high here. Don't love it, but I don't hate it. I think there's better looking charts out there. CMI, Cummins, weekly, monthly. So the monthly still an inside bar. The weekly still has to flip. So I would say wait for the weekly to flip. You could take longs from there. Someone said Marvel and then Bros. Marvel, let's see, weekly is heading into resistance, as is the monthly is kind of in an awkward spot. Daily's looking decent. I would say weekly close above the 20 EMA. Until then, nothing. Bros, this one's an interesting one, right? We have a lot of alerts set in that one. But let me just put these levels here. We're building a lot more support in this kind of general area. It could easily be an inside weekly bar possibly, but again, targets still remain. So I would say anything above Friday high, look for long, 77 and then 80 and then 83 is targets. Bros, wide range doji on the weekly. Above Friday high can add / long. Targets are 77, 80, and what's that, 83? Yeah, 83. Someone asked for APLD. If you guys know it, we crushed this in the Discord, guys. Our equity was up about 45%. I took a trim around 14.7s for my entry around $10. And we got options that were about 75-80% as well. So this one becomes very simple as well. Above 14.68. So basically above last week high. Yeah. Basically above last week high can long. Above last week high long for 17 and then 20 plus. Very, very simple. We're breaking out of a multi-year, right? That's why I liked it last week. That's why I still like it. APLD breaking out of multi-year base. Over last week high can long. Targeting 17, 20, and new all-time high, guys. Very, very clean looking chart there. All right, let me continue. Try to get through all the tickers. Did Marvel. STNE. Stone Co. Weekly's in an uptrend. Monthly's not yet in an uptrend. Daily's kind of funky. Yeah, I don't really love this one. I would say above these highs would be valid, above 14.7s. But the monthly's still not flipped, so I would say not yet there. Akbar, thank you for the gifts as well. FSLR, ASPI, got you. Like I said, guys, I'm doing my best to get to all the tickers. But if I missed any tickers, guys, do me a favor, just tag me in the Discord. I'll check out all of the missed ones in the Discord after. And again, if you're not already in the Discord, make sure you click the link in the bio. Use code ZACH. It's on the screen for that discount, guys. So ACHR, this is an interesting one. The weekly had a 3-bar pullback. The daily's trying to hold on here, and as is the monthly. This one's not bad, but it's not one of my favorites. So I'm going to probably leave this one off at least until I get a couple more days of data. If Monday or Tuesday kind of sets up slowly for us, this could be a good one here. Someone said Circle. Guys, there's nothing we can do with IPO names like this. We don't have any data, right? You can gamble if you want. If you think it's going higher, that's all you can really do, right? Microsoft. This one, again, has also just been pushing, right? There's really nothing to do here besides buy dips. So, you know, when you're at all-time high, there's really not much analysis to be done. Just buy higher time frame dips, guys. I already covered CATNO. And again, guys, I already covered AVGO as well. DIST. DIST token acquisition. I've never heard of this one. It seems to be a SPAC. Yeah, SPAC with crazy daily bar on Friday, so I'm not really sure. But guys, again, if you're not already in the Discord, I answer all questions there, even if they're duplicates. For the sake of the stream, because I'm only on for about an hour or so, I'm not going to be doing duplicate tickers just because I want to make sure I get to every single person I can, guys. G's Rips, thank you for the gifts. What's my thought on Nike and Target? Stay away from Nike and Target, guys. If you're right now, this is a basic little lesson for you guys, right? Forget EMAs, forget levels, forget anything. In my opinion, it's this simple. Pull up a chart of the S&P 500. Look at the weekly chart. This is what the weekly chart for the most part is looking like. If you're looking at a ticker, it should have some type of strength similar to this. If it doesn't look something like this, stay away. We're right now near the all-time highs. So in my opinion, there's no reason to mess with anything that's not near the all-time highs. Adnan, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Again, if you're not already following, drop me a follow as well. So if the weekly chart looks like this, if the weekly chart looks like this, right? You have some more examples like this, right? If the weekly chart looks like that, stay away. There is a time and place, right? Once the daily, once the weekly, once the monthly all get back into alignment. But the one thing I'll say, and I learned this from Baba, and if you guys are in the Discord, you know, Baba was probably the biggest trade to start the year. First quarter was our biggest trade. We pretty much caught this entire move here. Why this happened? Because for the first time in like 5 years, the monthly flipped back into an uptrend. People underestimate how long this process takes. So for Nike, we haven't even like bottomed yet. We haven't even begun to range. This could take another 5 to 10 years, if that, to get back to the all-time highs. People are saying buy Nike in 2023. People are saying buy Nike 2024, and we continue to go lower. So that's just a mini lesson, mini tangent there. So Baba was indeed fire early on, yes. All right, let's continue, guys. Vive. Someone said Vive. Let me throw the levels back on here. So Vive is a simple one as well. Daily 1, 2, 3 over Friday highs. Long targeting 295 and then 310. So that's pretty much what I'll say for Vive. Vive, daily 1, 2, 3 over Friday high and long, targeting 295 and 310. Guys, again, if you're not already in the Discord, make sure you click the link in the bio. It will send you to the purchase link for the Discord, and then from there use code ZAC. Code ZAC will get you that discount. It's still apparently live. Anything else is not live right now. People have asked me, do we still have code Sezzle? Do you still have code Bangers? None of that's still live. It's genuinely not live. I'm not just telling you that just to gatekeep something. I want to help you guys when I can. Zach's the only current thing live right now. So take advantage of that or do nothing. Right? Okay, let's continue. Bros did that. What's good for Monday? What's up, Tito? Did ST&E. I'm just scrolling through, guys, making sure I'm caught up. Can you share this later to your feed so those who can match? Cody Wilkins, I don't know if you're still here, but this video gets saved to YouTube every single day. Or every single stream gets saved to YouTube. So already to APLD. Crowd. So Crowd's going to be an interesting one here. Looking at this weekly. So this could easily be an inside weekly bar. I would say we need more data for this one. We need more data. So I would say we'll see where we gap and then we'll go on our radar the next couple days. DG Netflix. Let's see. DG. Let's see, DG. We're right at the monthly 20 EMA, so I'd probably pass on that one. It is relatively strong on the daily and the weekly's looking good now, but we're right at the monthly 20, so that's not a great spot. FS Solar, let's see. Monthly inside bar. The weekly's trying to flip, as is the daily, so this actually isn't bad. I don't mind this one, despite the monthly not being in an uptrend, because it does have some room here. Yeah, I mean, is this one my favorite? No. Can you make a case for it? Sure. These would be the levels. So daily inside bar, weekly's trying to flip above last week high, long 171, 175, 180. FS Solar, weekly trying to flip, monthly still a downtrend, over last week high can long, targeting 171, 175, and 180, guys. It could continue to go higher from there, but then you probably reevaluate. Again, guys, I post all of these tickers that I deem A+ in the Discord. If I don't think it's A+, I just kind of sift by it, but I am willing to go over every single ticker that I can see, guys. Someone said Netflix. Again, I'm trying to do this as fast as I can, as efficient as possible. Netflix, same deal. We're just pushing all-time highs. All you can do for this is buy daily 8 and 20 EMA dips. Let's see. AVGO covered. Oracle, and then Carvana. Oracle looks like we got earnings coming up. Yep, we got earnings coming up this week, so I would stay away from Oracle. Carvana, this thing is pushing near the all-time highs, not quite there yet. Maybe a bit extended on the daily as we rallied from like 200 all the way to 350. Not a bad one, definitely strong, but maybe a bit extended, so not my favorite. I like to see more consolidation when I look. ASPI, this one's monthly, weekly. Are we in all-time highs? Yeah. I mean, this name's at all-time high as well, so for this, just buy every pullback as well. trying to break this little double top here. So, you know, this could start to see price discovery here, right? Above these highs here. ASPI trying to break previous all-time high. If we break $10, likely price discovery from there. Carvana, Oracle, Vive, covered that. Lulu. Guys, again, I'm trying to do this as fast as possible and as efficiently as possible. Drop any tickers in the comments, guys. Let me know. I'm going to be covering as many as possible. All right. Lulu got smoked. I don't really love shorting. And this name, relatively speaking, is approaching a key support. So you could have a little bit more meat on the bone left, but I probably wouldn't want to short it with only like $15 of room to go. I'm not a big fan of shorting anyway. I already covered Lemonade, Jared. Already covered Crowd. Again, I might be missing these because it's going too fast, but I'm just telling you what I've covered, what I haven't. Some of them I have posted in the Discord, some of them not. QBTS, same thing applies for QBTS. Still an inside monthly bar above last month highs. Above last month highs have long and I have an alert. So this is a very simple one. Above all-time highs, more price discovery. QBTS, alert still set over previous all-time high. When that happens, easy long / pullback buys, price discovery again. CRWV and Amgen. So if you guys know, CRWV this year was my biggest trade. As you guys see on the screen, this May was my biggest month ever across the board, plus $77,000. I made almost $29,000 off of CRWV. All I was doing is buying the daily EMA pullbacks. I was buying the hourly pullbacks. That's all I was doing. It gets to a point where it does get a little bit ridiculous. I did sell pretty much everything here. I didn't participate in last week's rally because, again, we are a bit extended. We pretty much have ran from around $40 to $165 without tagging the daily 20 EMA once. At some points, that's going to happen. And, you know, whenever it happens, we'll see. But a bit extended for me. I think there's better setups. Amgen. Weekly's in a downtrend. Monthly's kind of in an awkward spot. I would say wait for the weekly to flip. Better names out there as well. Hood covered, QBTS covered. All right, looks like we're right at the end now. So I'm all caught up, guys. If anybody else, any other tickers, let me know. I don't mind this one. I don't really know what this is, but it's still an inside monthly bar. So above 20.25 can long. Seems to be a very slow ticker, so above 20.25 longs. Let me know, guys, any other tickers you got for me, guys. Let me know anyone from YouTube. See, it says we got 12 people on YouTube. Let me know if anyone on there. I have some tickers that I want to cover, so maybe I'll just do that now. Snow, double daily inside bar above last week high can long. Realistically, hold on, we gotta redo these. But yeah, so this is a double daily inside bar. Obviously, a lot of consolidation. Consolidation is good. So again, double daily inside bar. Realistically, this thing's gonna go way higher. I think we break last week high, 214, 216 is gonna break. So the real levels are 223, 228, and then really like 233s. Snow, double daily inside bar. Over last week high can long. 216 should crack. Opens the door to 222, 228. 233 and beyond. Big picture targeting 250, I would say. So someone said Meta, a net. Again, guys, if you're not already in the Discord, make sure you click the link in the bio. Join the Discord. Use the promo code Zach. It's the only promo we got going on right now. So this one's strong, no doubt about it. I think it's maybe a little bit extended away from the daily 8 EMA, so I would say this one's on pullback watch, so I probably wouldn't long it here. But definitely one to watch for pullbacks, guys. A net, someone said. Weekly still in a downtrend. Monthly's looking valid. So this weekly, once it flips back into an uptrend, you can long it. The daily's looking valid. So once this weekly flips, you should be good to go. ATYR. Ader. Yeah, someone asked me about this stock again. Yeah, I probably wouldn't touch this one. Roadblocks. I assume you mean Roblox. This one is insanely strong, guys. In my opinion, this one needs a pullback. Wait for the pullback, and then you can just long. Already covered Lulu. Again, guys, if you're in the Discord and you're coming into the stream and I said, oh, I already covered that one. If you're in the Discord, you can ask me again. Feel free. Or check the charting section. Let's see. So far, guys, I've covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've already covered 10 different tickers that I think are A+ coming into the week. Again, if I've already said, oh, I've covered that, feel free to just tag me in the chat again. Tag me in the chat again, and I'll be happy to cover that again. I already covered that Lulu, like I said. Just for the sake of time, guys, I just can't go over the same tickers multiple times. You know, because I'm only going to be on here for a little bit longer here. JTAI and ALHC. JTAI. So we're in a... This is a... Oh, this is real bad. Okay. Yeah, this is another example, guys. If the chart looks like this, most likely stay away. Could it work? Could it go higher? Absolutely. But, you know, when you got to scroll out like that, there's probably better names to trade out there. ALHC alignment. So this is in a daily downtrend, a weekly uptrend, and a monthly uptrend. So for this one, I'd say let the daily flip back into an uptrend, which probably happens around $16.5, $17, and then go from there. I already covered AVPT, whatever that is. I covered that. Tesla. Did not cover Tesla. So Tesla's a very interesting one here. The weekly's a bit damaged, so this weekly needs to get a snapback rally. The monthly is still an inside bar, which in my opinion, at this point, this monthly will remain an inside monthly bar and chop around the rest of the month. So in my opinion, there's no reason to trade this name until it gets back into a daily uptrend. From there, once it does flip back into a daily uptrend, it probably sets up a monthly 1, 2, 3, and then from there, it probably makes a nice move. Dylan trades. I don't really do crypto here, just, you know, for the sake of time. Which pharmaceuticals for long-term do you recommend? Sandra, I don't really mess with pharmaceuticals, and I also don't really do long-term. But we are going to be starting something very fun with stock, just stock equity, no options. That'll probably be in place end of June, early July. So again, if you're not in the Discord, I highly suggest you do so. Take advantage of that. GME has earnings this week, so I would say wait for after earnings. MU, this is one that I really, really like. We do have earnings in a couple weeks, but the next pullback we get, pre-earnings, I'll buy. This thing's a bit extended. From these April lows, went from around $62, already now hit 110. So this thing's going to pull back. The weekly flipped, the monthly solid. Everything about this I really like. We just need to pull back. Dylan, thank you for the gifts. PLTR, this one's fine as well. I mean, it gets to a point, guys, where you can just long all these names that are pushing all-time highs. Long the pullbacks. It's really all you can do, right? I covered MU, SMCI, and Dash. SMCI, guys, we're still waiting here. What are we waiting for? The monthly to flip to an uptrend, which will probably happen above 48s. Once that happens, you can probably target these wick highs. Dash. This one's not bad. It just needs to break. So I would just say above last week high can long to 235 to 240. It may want to retest the daily 8 first, but I would say that's a pretty valid one. Dash over last week high has lots of room. Wait for confirmation to swing over that high, targeting 235 to 240. Really like that one. This one's been on my radar. I just haven't been able to get an entry in it. Well, actually, I did take an entry last week. It's a lie. I did take an entry last week. We made some money on it. Guys, any other tickers, drop them in the comments. And again, if you're not already in the Discord, make sure you join the Discord. I post all my trades there. I go on voice chat at least 4, if not 5 times a week, trading with you guys live in there. Mostly a swing trader for those that don't know me. And I do trade futures as well. AMD, it's very simple. The monthly's still in a downtrend. The weekly's trying to flip, so I would not prematurely take this trade. I would wait for the weekly to flip if you're really adamant. There's better charts out there for sure, though. This is not crypto, guys. This is just a stock kind of scan. We're doing some overview for the week, right? We're figuring out what tickers look good, what doesn't look good. As I mentioned, for those that aren't in the Discord already, I've now posted, I believe it's 11 or 12 different charts. Any chart that I post, in my opinion, is an A+ chart. You know, during the course of a scan, I probably go over at least 40 to 50 different tickers. Not meaning that some of these are bad, not meaning some of these won't work, but just meaning that I think that some are better than others is all. I already covered Tesla diamond hands, but just in simple form, in case anyone missed it. I normally don't go over tickers multiple times, but I know we're going to have some Tesla fans in here. So the daily has slipped into a downtrend, as you can see right here. Once the daily flips back up into an uptrend, you're probably good to go. But my guess is that the entire rest of this month chops around in last month range. It's so far a monthly inside bar. That's my guess as to what happens the rest of the month. So I probably would not take any trades here. It probably will maybe go sideways, and I think we have earnings. Yeah, earnings end of next month, so maybe run up into earnings, right? We got HIMS, we have H-Bond, Huntington Bank shares. I don't really mess with tickers that don't move like this. By definition, it looks valid. Weekly uptrend, monthly uptrend, daily looks good. For me, though, it's just a little bit too slow of a mover. So I probably would hold off. I already covered Oracle as well, but I will cover HIMS. I didn't cover this one. So the weekly here is a bit funky with a weird topping tail there. We did sweep last month high and fail on this spike up. It could rally back, but I think this move may take longer than people think. I'm not a huge fan of this chart, but it definitely could work. Jay Leanne, thank you for the follow. What's up, Camilla? Hello. Guys, if you're not already following on TikTok, do me a favor, double tap the screen. Drop me a follow. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, I don't really do crypto much, but I will cover Bitcoin. I did actually call the kind of bottom on this last week in the chat. I don't really mess with crypto, but I said basically long right here, which is the weekly 8 EMA. Nice bounce there. So now it's pretty clear above last week high around 107s or so. We should be good to go for higher. Any other questions from TikTok, guys? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Any other questions, guys? Diego, I go live on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch as well. I'm not really active on Twitch, but I do go live there when I do go live. Other than that, it's all within the Stock Dads Discord. So again, if you're not already in the Stock Dads Discord, make sure you click the link in the bio. That'll send you in there. And I post all of my analysis in there, all of my trade signals, all that good stuff. And we're going to have some really exciting stuff going on end of June, early July. So make sure you take advantage of that as well. Someone said coin. Coin here, it's another kind of interesting one. Inside monthly bar, again, it is kind of a Bitcoin play. You could take a long over last week high. I think it's just going to continue to go range bound for a bit. So, you know, it made a big move last month, going from the lows of 194 all the way to the highs of like 275s. So it could easily continue to be range bound for a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. Roku is price fractal. I don't believe so. I don't really know what that means, so probably not. Weekly, monthly downtrend. This one I've been watching for a monthly EMA flip for a while. This one reminds me of BABA before it flipped. A lot of consolidation. So whenever this does flip on the monthly chart, this is definitely one that I'm going to keep an eye out for sure. Oscar, there's been a lot of hype on this stock. I don't really know what's going on with this name. To me, the chart is just going sideways. So until we get some type of break, I'm not interested. This name has basically been going sideways for over a year. So, I mean, could there be something, the bigger story? Yeah, but to me, if you look, we basically went sideways from 2021, end of 2021 to like the end of 2023. Then we had a nice rally, and now we've been going sideways for another year plus. So for me, until this name does something, I'm not really interested, right? Answer you, please. What do you want me to answer you about? I already covered Hood, Jonathan. Appreciate the gifts. And again, guys, if you're not already in the Discord, join the Discord. I post all my analysis there. For the sake of time, I can't go over the same tickers multiple times. Again, because I'll go crazy if we keep doing the same ones over and over and over. I post all the analysis there. And again, if it's not a great chart, I'll let you guys know. But yes, do I use lower time frames? Absolutely. I mean, it's very important, guys. You've probably heard of top-down analysis. It's really important to understand the higher time frames, and then you're obviously going to take entry based on the lower time frames. I do not use extended levels at all. No, I only use regular trading hours. In my opinion, I don't think extended hours matters. But again, everyone trades differently. That's why the market moves. This could very well be some type of cup and handle, absolutely. But the thing is, again, we're really consolidating. So I don't really like to draw stuff like, you can, draw this and then the cup, right? Whatever you want to draw. But I like things that are not subjective. Things that are subjective are patterns. Things that are subjective are Fibonacci. I mean, I could probably name others. But for me, I like things that are such as horizontal lines, right? Even something as simple as a trend line. The way you draw a trend line is subjective. It doesn't matter what strategy you use, it's subjective. So again, you base your system, you have your system off things that, in your opinion, are not subjective. To me, it's levels and EMAs. Run. This is not one that I like here. We're in a weekly downtrend. We're in a monthly downtrend. The daily's in a downtrend, so definitely not one that I like. Caburn, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate that. Was Hood bullish or bearish? I mean, we're getting a gap down because it wasn't included in the S&P 500, so we have to wait for tomorrow and see. Saddy. Which one is the best stock for the week? So again, as I said, I post all my analysis in the Discord. As far as best stocks for the week, I will post my watch list video after the stream is over. It's probably the next 45 minutes to an hour. But again, that always changes. What could be best on a Sunday is not best on a Wednesday. So that's why you always want to stay tuned. Realistically, guys, one good trade can make your day, your week, your month. So there's no reason not to be in the Discord if you guys are liking the free stuff, truthfully. Avery, thank you for the follow on TikTok as well. Appreciate that. Someone said Disney and CLSK. Let's check it out. Someone said Disney breakout. There's no Disney breakout. It's very clear. Another name that's been going sideways for years. Once we break this consolidation, we will have plenty of time to get, an entry. The way I view of it, I don't really care if I miss a move from 115 to 125 because I will catch a move after we do something like this, pull back, and I'll capture the next big move after that. So for me, I don't really care. CLSK, I traded this name a lot in 2024, and then this thing got really weak. I really took advantage of this range in here when we were trading up in this area. I really took advantage of that, and now we're in a monthly, weekly downtrend, and so I really have no interest in trading this name. Your thoughts on MP Material Corp, OKTA? Let me do OKTA. Ooh, this name got smoked. Oh, I think this is the earnings move. Yeah, so daily downtrend, weekly, monthly. So the monthly's got a nasty topping tail going on, so I would say it's probably going to need some time. The daily's still in a downtrend, so at the very least, wait for the daily to flip back to an uptrend. Do you like Orb? I don't use Orb, no. I use something similar to Orb in my system or my strategy, but it's not Orb. Can we learn your trading models but then do it on scalper timeframes? Yes, absolutely. In my opinion, the system that I use, which we're trying to name right now, actually, the system itself can be used on every time frame, can be traded and done on any asset. Anything that has a chart, you can use my quote system, right? OKLO. Then I'll go over Grail and I'll go over MP. This one's not bad. Really wide range weekly. This one for me, people are trying to like jump the gun. I just break 60. Break the 60, right? We're trying to break this big resistance area. I don't want to jump the gun here. Break 60 and we probably go to 100. So I just no reason to kind of jump it here. What time frame do I scan in? I use all the time frames. But like I said, guys, I'm not going to be able to go over multiple charts. Can I do Aritzia and TIH? I can do those after. I've already been on live for 45 minutes, and again, I usually only go on stream for about an hour 15, so I can't go over multiple charts, or excuse me, multiple tickers. Sorry, I can't go over tickers multiple times. That's what I meant to say. Sorry about that. Do I use the weekly opening print? No. What about ETH open print? Yes. Someone said Grail. I haven't traded this ticker in a while. Yeah, another one, consolidation. The consolidation is good, just got to wait for a break. So over these highs, buy a pullback, good to go. Thoughts on MP? Daily in a consolidation bar, monthly. This is a really slow moving ticker. There's nothing wrong with this one. Just moves real slow. Doesn't look bad, but not something I'm going to trade personally. Just seeing if I caught all of the tickers. For futures only options, only the ETH opening print or ETH. I don't use anything with extended hours on futures. Just regular. Just regular. Denzo, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Meta bounces support. I mean, Meta's pushing new highs right now, so once it does get a pullback, for sure, could definitely be a dip buy. Google, Amazon. Guys, if you know me or you've been on one of my previous scans, I'm not a huge fan of trading these mega tech stocks. I think the best opportunity for trades comes outside of these. I think some of the safest investments, quote, right, long term, are these. And keep in mind, I'm not really a long term investor, but I do actively swing trade shares. And so, in my opinion, these are, quote, the safest bets for longer term kind of mindsets. I do not think they're the best opportunities for options because you need a really big move for options to pay for the most part. And these stocks to get a big move needs a big catalyst for the most part. Love Bunny, thank you for the follow. Hi, new here. What's the goal for the session on stock after these sweet options, Daddy? Yes, the smaller cap. It doesn't even have to be like very small names, but the smaller stocks, you know, in my opinion, the names I call them that are not crowded, those are the good ones. The goal of this session right now, though, options, is we're just scanning, trying to find names to trade for the week. That's all we're doing right here. We're not trading anything right now. This is what we just do. I do this every single week. I mean, I do it every single day, but I do the big scan every single week to kind of prepare for the week. If I'm able and around, I hop on live to do it, and so people can ask questions. But the one and only, I already covered CRWV as well. And again, for those that are just tuning in now, maybe just joining in late, if you're not already a member of the Discord, click the link in the bio. That'll send you there. The code ZACH is on the screen to give you the discount. And again, I'm not going to be able to go over the tickers multiple times just for the sake of time. So, pardon me, if you are a member of the Discord and you really do want something to be covered again, feel free to tag me in there and I'll get to it after the stream's over. So someone said GRRR. This is not a name I've traded recently. The weekly's flipping up, the monthly. That's a problem. The monthly's still in a downtrend here. So, is it good? Is it? Like, I don't mind it. This is a tough entry right here because of the monthly 20 EMA. So I think the move kind of already happened last week. But we'll see. Appreciate your hard work teaching us. Got you, brother. That's what I do. I'll be on here with you. Where can I find your criteria for what you scanned for? That's a good question. If you're new to Stock Dads, I would say the best bet is just to join the lives, and just through time, you'll kind of learn my criteria for what I think is an A+ setup. And then obviously I do teach my entire system in the Mastermind, in the mentorship. So if you want to get on the wait list for that, you can do that. But, you know, just through, I would say the best way to learn is just doing, you know, the lives with me for sure. Do you ever have students that use your trading models but a much lower time frame successfully? Yes, absolutely. Oops, I just invited somebody by accident. Don't accept that. I'm sorry. Cyprian, thank you for the follow. How much is the mastermind? Well, I'm not currently offering one now. There is a wait list, but we are potentially going to be releasing the recording so you guys can watch that. And we're not sure about the price on that one just yet, so I don't want to give you an answer one way or another, and then when you say, oh, I thought it was this, blah, blah, blah. So, SPY prediction tomorrow, up, down, or sideways. Guys, I don't like when people ask me predictions because, first of all, it's not even happening. I need more data. Second of all, if I could predict what happens every single day, I wouldn't be on TikTok Live. I'd be on an island somewhere, so. Already covered APLD, Tyler. Again, guys, for those that are just joining in now, I'll show you. I'll list off the tickers that I did cover. These tickers, I already posted all the analysis in the Discord. Dumash, thank you for the follow on TikTok as well. Can we do Bitcoin? I already covered Bitcoin, Avery, as well. And again, so to let you guys know, people do use my system for everything: futures, options, scalping. One of my students actually told me he made $19,000 in the last 9 trading sessions, which is pretty crazy. One of my oldest kind of students made his first 5-figure month last week, which is pretty awesome. Sorry, first 5-figure month last month. But these are the tickers that I covered so far, guys. I've covered Dash, Snow, Dash, Snow, QBTS, ASPI, FSLR, Vive, APLD, Bros, ASTS, RDW, Lemonade. So we got a lot of good looking tickers. Another one I do want to cover is this RKLB as well. This one looks really good for that continuation. All the space stocks look good though, guys. All the space stocks look good. Really strong hammer candle. I mean, realistically, this name should push the all-time highs. Once it breaks at like $31. RKLB, space sector is strong. Nice daily hammer. Over last week, high and long. Targets at 30 and 31 plus. Realistically, this move sends back to all-time high. You doubled your portfolio because of me last week. Really appreciate that, Love Bunny. That was, I did not pay him to say that, or her. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it's a girl or boy. I never want to assume. But is a mastermind through stock dads? It is indeed. So if you're already in the Discord, you can open a support ticket for that. Someone said SYTA. Oof. Guys, yeah, I was assuming I had a monthly tail like this. Monthly downtrend, weekly downtrend, daily not looking good. I wouldn't touch this one myself. You're a man. Sorry, love buddy. I never want to assume. Movie averages, volume, key levels. I'm seeing a chart. Are you an indicator guy? Yeah, so I'm a big indicator guy. Well, I don't want to say I'm a big indicator guy. I'm really big into the 8 and 20 EMA. I think that without 8 and 20 EMA, if you can use them correctly, it's literally a cheat code. All you have to do is know how to use them correctly, aka kind of my system, and then really just be patient. I will say too, I don't really use volume. Volume's on my screen just because I never removed it, but I don't really use it. It's not part of my strategy. Frank said he paid for the mastermind 10 times already. Really appreciate that, Frank. Really appreciate that. Again, guys, I hop on here to meet new people, try to answer some questions, but also, you know, realize I do have a passion for teaching. It's what I like to do. Truthfully, if I didn't like teaching, I probably would be out of the Discord game. I like making an impact on people. So, again, if you're not already in Discord, click the link in the bio. What sector do I think is the most momentum? It's a good question. I did post a bunch of charts, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not sure if you're in the Discord, Juan, but check out those charts if not. The trades I did last week, sure. So I did a couple trades. One trade that I took, we went long on CEP. Took 2 different trades on CEP off the daily 20 EMA. Both trades were about 50% to 70% profit. Last week we took 2 different trades in Hood. We took it initially on Monday. We took it on Monday. We had a nice gap up Tuesday. We took another entry, daily 1, 2, 3. We took the exit around 76. It did go higher on Friday, but we exited around 76. So I think both of those positions went about 80% profit. Dash. Enter Dash. Enter Dash on Monday around 2:10, and we sold the position in 2:13. It did go in higher, but I was not in the position at that point. Another good winner from last week was Spotify. We actually barreled through my target. We entered that position on Monday in kind of a daily 1-2-3. Real nice explosion. I exited the position around 690, and it pushed all the way up to about 717. Trying to think of any other position that I took. Took a position in this that I closed at break even. And then we're still in a position in this. But I'm giving away too much sauce. Too much sauce. Too much sauce. Yeah, so good question, Matt. You can use the 8 and 20. You can use the 9 and 20, 9 and 21. In my opinion, the 8 and 20 is the best because it's the most current price. It doesn't really matter much, but based on my ideas, I care most about the most recent price. So there's not much of a difference between the 8 and 21 or 8 and 20 or 9 and 20, 9 and 20. It's all the same for the most part. I just prefer and have done all the back tests using the 8 and the 20. Can I go over how to do NQ and how I trade it? Not right now. Not right now. It's gonna take too long, Avery. Respectfully. So, that's what I do during the mastermind and the mentorship. Right? We have classes on that. So again, even if I had even if I wanted to, it just would take too much time. The 3 EMA and the 36, nice. Never heard of that, but you here for the sauce? Listen, in the Discord, you get the sauce. Right now, I'm here to help as much as I can without giving away the sauce. Because here's the reality of it, right? Even if I wanted to teach everything for free, it would just be doing the paying members a disservice, right? Nothing more than that. Just the fact that if I'm doing everything out here, why even be a member? I gotta keep the sauce for the members. All right, I think I'm all caught up with tickers. Edith, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Someone said Aritzia. I forgot that one. It's not even traded in the US, so I can't even do that one. I already covered Roblox, KJ. I'll cover F though. I have not traded this name in forever. I think truthfully there's no reason to trade forward. There's a billion other names that are better. Monthly downtrend. Weekly is trying to hold on, but looking not so good. Daily downtrend. It's a slow moving ticker. It's in a monthly downtrend. There's just so many better tickers to trade out there. You remember, sir? Good. Exactly. Guys, here's the deal. Just the reality of it. Even if you didn't make a single penny from trading, the subscription pays for itself with the value. And then again, the mastermind, as you see from a couple people who took the mastermind in here, it pays for itself, right? I don't just say that. We got testimonials. We have actual profits and proof, so. You had a rough week trading last week? Dang, sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully it gets better. So this one's a bit interesting. BA, the monthly's trying to flip for the first time in a long time. We really need to break above this 217s. This is not a ticker that I love to trade, but it doesn't look terrible. I would say above 217s long, but I think there's better names out there as well right now. And once I get off the stream, guys, as well, I'll post some more charts. We've already been on stream for about an hour, right? What's up, Nick? What's going on, bro? What up, what up? We've already been on the stream for about an hour. I usually go like an hour 15 or so. We've done a lot of good-looking charts, and we'll get more charts tomorrow. I'll get more charts later as I hop off the stream. Do I like trend lines? Not so much. I mean, they're a good visual, in my opinion, for beginners, but that's about it. SMLR. So the monthly is flipping to a downtrend. So if you want a short, I would say under $30. Don't really love the short. The weekly's trying to flip down, and the daily's in a downtrend. So not my favorite name to definitely long. But I also don't really like shorting, so I probably wouldn't short. What movie should I watch? Honestly, guys, I'm not a big movie guy, so I can't really help you. I don't know if you can see, you can't see, but I'm a sports guy, and so we got this going on right here, but on my other screen, We got the game. I can't show that for too long though. We got booted off. Goals you have trading wise for the remainder of the year? Good question. So my biggest goal and priority for the rest of the year is just to trade with less stress, to continue to lower the stress, continue to be very disciplined, and I know by doing these things, profits will come. Good question though. Have a good one, Juan. You're by yourself. Thank you for the follow, and Mix Nikino, thank you for the follow as well on TikTok, guys. What do you think about Casey Team 2 Trader? Never heard of him. Guys, also, that's another thing about me is I try to, the best I can, stay in my own lane. I don't really know a ton of people on social media, these traders. I try to just do my own thing, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and that's about it. Appreciate KJ Green. I'm in the Discord. You're amazing at handling stress. Listen, it's always a work in progress for sure. I do appreciate that, but again, that's my number one priority. You know, so if the ways you can handle stress, the way you can handle pullbacks, the way you can handle being in the red, that was what's going to make you a better trader. You know, like I said, I had my biggest month ever last month. My goal this month is just to make sure that the emotions stay in check. I don't care if I'm green or red or what, because at the end of the day, green or red, you'll still come out on top long term. All I care about is that the emotions stay in check. And I follow the system and I'm disciplined. That's all that matters. WGMI, coin shares. I mean, monthly, weekly, everything's looking fine. Just needs to flip, right? But I don't really like trading stuff like this personally, guys. I don't really like trading stuff like that personally. Any other tickers, guys? I get my levels from the hourly, guys. You can use the 15 if you want. I don't do that. I look like a New Yorker. It's funny. I don't really do crypto analysis unless it's like Bitcoin, just because I don't trade that stuff. So. Any other questions, guys? Like I said, we've been on almost an hour. Yeah, like a minute shy of an hour here, so I'm going to hop off relatively soon. Does anybody else have any other questions for me? No, I don't like trading certain like cryptos themselves. I don't mind trading crypto stocks, but that's why I only cover Bitcoin. TPST? Yeah, not a fan, guys. If the chart looks like this, guys, stay away. Speaking of stops of stress, are you consistent with stop loss placement? So the answer to that, options daddy, and you'll learn my kind of system. But a stop is never a certain percentage. A stop is always based on the chart, and so you dictate the stop based on the options chain, and then you dictate your size based on that. So you got to work backwards. The two things you're going to always ask yourselves are where can the chart pull back to and be valid, and where does the chart pull back to and become invalid. Based on where it becomes invalid, you figure out what the stop would be, and then you size your position accordingly. You can have an A+ setup, but it requires a 50% stop. So therefore, you got to size for it. I'm not going to go a full-size position, or if I do use a full-size position, I have to understand the risk and make sure the R to R does make sense for that. Another thing you'll realize about me is that I'm not one to take small trims. I don't really trim at 5, 10, 12%. The smallest I'll usually take a trim at is like 15 to 20%, and that's if I'm in a little bit heavy or maybe the trade was going sideways for a bit and just want to reduce some exposure. But if I'm looking to take an actual meaningful trim, unless the premiums just aren't moving, it's usually at least 25 to 35%. Bottom indicator name, I use the 8 and 20 EMA and VWAP. Goalie, thank you for the follow. Do I go live daily on Stock Dads? Yes, I'm there at least 4 days a week, if not 5. Have a good one. Plan for success. I already covered DG as well. You got it, Twizzler. How many trades a day do you usually get? That's a good question. Some days 0, some days 3 or 4. I think last week we took 8 or 9. I think 8 or 9 last week. In May, just to give perspective on May, I took 33 trades, and I think there was 20 trading days. So, you know, it comes out to roughly 1.5 a day. You know, some days 0, some days 2, some days 3. Catch your options, Addy. Any other questions, guys? Any other last minute questions? Again, if you're not already in the Discord, click the link in the bio. The link in the bio will send you to the Discord. Sign up. Use code ZAC. It's on the screen right here. Code ZAC will get you access to the Discord at a discount. It's the only discount we have running right now, and it's only promoted through social media. So, any other questions, guys, for me? Any other questions? Thank you guys for the gifts. Appreciate it. Any other questions? All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I really appreciate that. If anybody does have any more questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram, DM me on TikTok or Discord, whatever you want. Again, if you're not in the Discord already, click the link in the bio. For those that are in the Discord that are still watching, appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning around 9:15 Eastern Time, and we'll get going for a good week. So have a good rest of the night. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you later. TikTok and Instagram. See you guys later.